Happy Fakie Friday, everybody! A day to celebrate bootlegs and knockoffs. These are a classic My Little Pony fakie called Enchanted horses or Enchanted Kingdom horses made by Marchon, and they ran from 1984 to 1991, which is very impressive because that's almost as long as G1 My Little Pony ran. And of course, they were stocked right in the aisle across from My Little Ponies, kind of the cheaper option if your parent didn't want to buy one. And that's exactly how I got these two. These are my childhood enchanted horses, Aloha with her Hawaiian theme, and Nina or Nina, who I think is meant to have a Spanish dancer theme. But there are many versions of these horses, and instead of having symbols on their rumps, their clothing and saddles kind of were the symbols. That was their theme, and that was what gave them personality and how you differentiated them from all the other Enchanted Kingdom horses, especially since the adult horses only had two molds. The posing mold that Aloha's in, and the running mold that Nina's in. Compared to a real G1 My Little Pony, especially removing the accessories from the Enchanted Kingdom horse, you can see the Enchanted Kingdom horses were a far more realistic body type. They pretty much are a horse, whereas the My Little Pony is very stylized, very chubby. Her eyes are much larger than you'd see on a real horse. She doesn't have the defined hooves that are a different color. So Marchon wasn't trying to fool parents. This was just like, hey, here's a cheaper option. Even though they're cheaper, they're still pretty good quality, although their hair is not as nice, and the way they are molded, or the way they're put together, is the Enchanted Kingdom horses are made in two pieces, and then the two halves are like glued together, and there's a little line down the back. Their hair has beads around it. It's just slotted in instead of being rooted because they're hard plastic. And the same with the tail. Their tail has this little rosette that's just stuck in, held in place by the two halves of her body. But they're not bad quality, they're just different from a real My Little Pony. Of course, any 80s fantasy horse toy needs a mommy and baby set, so they had some of those as well. These ones being Rose Princess, who is the mom, and Rosebud, the baby. And you may note that the baby's fur is made of a different material than her mom's. They made it out of rabbit fur. I think it's rabbit. It's definitely real, actual animal fur. And if you're wondering, was that normal for an 80s girl's toy? It was not. I wasn't cognizant of this as a child because, first of all, I didn't have any of the babies. And second, I don't think I would have ever, thought of that. It's just kind of a strange choice, and I don't know why they did that. I don't see any reason why they couldn't have just used the synthetic hair, but there you have it. That's what they did. They were also released in various sets. Like the two I had as a child came in a 2-pack, but they were also packaged separately, and you would have variations like Nina could have red hooves instead of pink hooves, little things like that. Also, they were sometimes packaged with dolls, the size of a Kelly doll, I think, or with a carriage they could pull. Overall, I really like these fakies, and I have a lot of respect for the company because not only did they make a unique competitor to My Little Pony, but the clothes are just genuinely really well made and really creative, and I have to give props to that. So that's it for this week, and I hope you enjoyed.